This is my wife, Andrea, and she is incredible at taking old, outdated things and turning them into something beautiful. In today's adventure, she is doing a dream bedroom makeover for our master bedroom, which includes an incredible feature wall, a trip to Magnolia Market, and a huge problem. Can she bring this project all together? Well, find out in the adventures of my DIY wife and her non-handy husband. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Dean and Andrea. We hope you're enjoying this beautiful fall weather. I know we are, and we're really excited about today's video because we are doing a dream bedroom makeover.
We've lived in this house for about 3 years and we have made over just about everything. And so really what I wanted to do is just give a more finished, complete, and really bring in just a cozy feeling to the bedroom. And we've been looking for a dresser for a while. And so while we were finding that piece, I thought, you know what? This is the perfect time to really try and finish out this whole space.
We are really excited to share this project with you. Andrea does an amazing feature wall. She uses some budget items mixed in with a few splurge items, and the room turned out absolutely gorgeous. So let's go ahead and dive in.
But before we get started, we want to thank today's video sponsor, ButcherBox. ButcherBox delivers high-quality meats straight to your doorstep. Their meats are very high quality with 100% grass-fed beef, free-range organic chicken, humanely raised pork, and wild-caught seafood. And if you order between now and November 16th, you get a free whole turkey in your first box. ButcherBox sources from farmers and fishermen who meet the highest standards for quality. You get to choose your box and delivery frequency. They offer 5 boxes, 4 curated box options, as well as my personal favorite, the custom box, so you get exactly what you and your family love. ButcherBox ships your order frozen at the peak of freshness and packed in an eco-friendly 100% recyclable box. Then it gets delivered straight to your doorstep, which means you don't even have to go to the grocery store to pick it up. I personally have several food sensitivities and have found that the quality of the meat I eat matters almost as much as the rest of the food on my plate. With ButcherBox, I'm able to order high-quality meats from a source I trust and a quality I can depend on. Here recently, our family has enjoyed several meals with ButcherBox meats, and we really love their chicken breasts, their salmon, and their steaks. So if you're interested in ButcherBox, be sure to check out the link in our description, and don't forget that if you place an order between now and November 16th, you get a free whole turkey in your first box.
This is our master bedroom, but it didn't always look like this. It's actually a garage conversion, which took quite a bit of work to get it looking like it does today.
Okay, now obviously our bedroom does not look bad like it is, and we were both really happy with it, but I had been brainstorming for months on how to just bring in more coziness and give this space a more finished feeling. I knew I wanted to do some sort of feature wall to add interest in this space, and I've done painted board and batten walls in the past and I love them, but I just really wasn't feeling that look for this space. Since we already had this green bed that I love and knew we would be keeping, I started playing around with the idea of doing a stained wood slat wall. So like with all of my design projects, I started out by making a mood board in Canva. And once I had all of the design details worked out, I was so excited to get started.
But before we could get started on this epic bedroom makeover, we had a trip to make first. Hey, wait for me.
Gotta go!
Let's go! Where are we going? You know where we're going. It starts with an L, ends with an S.
We started out the day by making a trip to Lowe's to get supplies for the feature wall, which included 102 boards and a few options for stain. I went with select pine 1x2s, which simply means they didn't have the knots because I was trying to get a more modern look.
So the only problem with needing 102 of the exact same board is that one store may not carry all of those boards, so we're actually going to go to the other Lowe's on the other side of town and see if we can get a few more because we only got 64 here, so we need, do the math, the 102 total minus 64 is something, so we need that something.
We started out by clearing out most of the room and moving the bed out of the way. Once we had that done, I grabbed a few tools so we could get started removing the baseboard.
After removing the baseboard, Andrea realized that she needed to make another quick trip to Lowe's, and so she gave me 3 tasks to finish before she got back. Task number 1 was to vacuum up the embarrassing amount of dust that had gathered under our bed. Next, I brought in all of the wood for the feature wall and brought in the air compressor for the nail gun and had some fun while doing it.
Cookie break!
Hey, I finished all 3 tasks you asked of me before you got back. Thanks.
Good job, babe.
Thanks.
After I got back from Lowe's, it was finally time to get started on the feature wall. First, I used a multi-tool to cut part of this baseboard off so I could fit that first board flush against the wall. I made sure to pick one of the straighter boards for this first one and also used a level because in this old house none of our walls are actually level. I tried several options to get the spacing between boards just right, but most of them were looking too far apart. So in the end I ended up using this coin that I found under the bed, and it was the perfect amount of space. Since I was nailing these boards straight into the sheetrock, I made sure to nail them in at various angles because it helps hold it a little more securely. After getting the first few boards in place, it really was a matter of just repeating this process over and over and over again.
Andrea had nearly finished off the wall, but there was one slight problem. After going to both of our local Lowe's stores, they didn't have 102 boards even combined, and so we actually had to buy some 8-foot boards and cut them down to be 6-foot boards.
It would have been really nice if there were enough of the 6-foot boards in stock, but I am glad that they at least had the 8-foot options, even though it did add a bit of time having to cut all of those down. Next, I grabbed my stainable wood filler, put on a good podcast, and got to work filling over 500 nail holes. Next, I sanded off any excess wood filler and taped around the feature wall to get ready for stain. I started out by doing a paint wash with some really watered down beige paint that I had on hand. I did this because it helps keep the darker stain from soaking into the wood grain quite as strongly, giving it a more uniform look, and also makes it look less like pine and more like a nicer, more expensive wood. After that dried, I started applying the darker stain. But a little ways in, I took a step back and noticed a huge problem. So here's what went wrong. I did my paint wash and I didn't realize, because you couldn't see it until I started doing the darker stain, that my paint wash adhered more to my wood filler than it was to my actual wood. So once I started putting the darker stain on, there were these huge thumbprint size lighter spots on the wood that had accepted the paint wash more and now was showing through the darker stain.
It looks so good. Other than that, it stinks. It's about time you start crying.
So in the end, we decided to pull these boards down and just replace them. To fix the rest of the boards, I used my electric sander to sand off every last bit of excess wood filler. And then I touched up the paint wash on the areas that I had sanded down.
And as Andrea finished that up, I went ahead and went to Lowe's to get more boards, and of course they didn't have any 6-foot boards, so I had to get the 8-foot boards, and then Andrea cut them down.
And then for the new boards, I borrowed a pin nailer from a friend of mine so that I wouldn't have to fill any of those holes. And then finally, I reapplied the paint wash to these new boards, which basically meant we were back to square one. But rather than jump right into finishing the wall, we decided to take a breather and go grab lunch.
All right, gotta admit, I'm a little stressed out.
This is just a little bit of real life. Every new kind of project like this, and it's like this even with furniture, when we're trying something new, there's usually like a lot of lessons you have to learn the hard way. Unless you watch our videos and you learn from all of our mistakes. So we'll have a list of all of our tips to avoid making all of the same mistakes we do.
Here's 97 mistakes to not make. So the way that we're gonna remedy the situation is we're gonna go to Chipotle, because that's gonna solve a lot of the problems that we're up against right now. And sparkly water.
Boost the morale of the team here. We need to take a break, stop staring at the wall, literally staring at the wall. Hopefully there's a happy ending to this story.
After a good break, we were feeling more hopeful and ready to tackle the stain. The happy accident in all of this is that I ended up trying a new stain combination that I liked even more than the one I was originally planning on going with. I ended up mixing 2 water-based stain colors together, and a quick side note, I'm going to try and list every single thing that we use in the description, so I'll give those exact colors there. The other perk of using a water-based stain instead of an oil-based stain is the smell is nowhere near as strong, which means we were actually able to sleep in our room that night. In the end, the problem was completely solved, and I love the way it turned out.
It looks so good. I'm so relieved. I was so scared we were gonna start putting this on and we'd have a similar, it would just look bad again. Oh my gosh, this is like the best feeling when it looks just like you wanted it to look. So just ignore the big splotchy area right in the middle. That is where the bed will go. That's where I was testing some options when we first had our big problem, seeing the marks on the wall. And so I knew it would look like that, but there's literally not another spot in this room to put the bed, and so it's never going to be exposed. So I'm not worried about that. Just ignore that, but the rest of it looks so good.
After the main part of the wall was finished, I cut down some of those same 1x2 boards to finish off the top edge of the wall. After finishing up the wall, we hit pause on the project for the weekend while we went to visit family. And since we would be driving right through Waco on our way there, we decided to stop at Magnolia Market for a few specific decor items I had been looking at. Once we got back in town, we got back to work. And since we had finished all of the larger projects in the room, I could focus on the finishing design touches. The first one being the artwork that I planned to put above the dresser. I framed this art several years ago, but decided to reframe it and use wood that would match the feature wall. Next, we put new, taller legs on the bed. The main reason I did this was that our new nightstands were several inches taller than the old ones and just looked a little bit funny next to our bed. The extra perk is that our vacuum can now reach under the bed. Our old rug was just a little bit too small for the size bed we have, and so this makeover was the perfect time to go ahead and swap it out. While searching for a new rug, I found out that one of my favorite designers just did a collaboration with Loloy Rugs and released a new line of rugs right in the middle of this bedroom renovation. I love this rug because it looks like an authentic vintage rug, but at a fraction of the cost. Next, I installed our bedside lamps. And these are actually ones that I bought over 5 years ago, but they are still one of my favorite pieces of bedroom decor.
And by this point, it was getting late, but Andrea decided that she couldn't live without the dresser being in the room before we went to bed. The next day was a gorgeous day, and it was a big day for Andrea because it was the day to finish the room.
Staging a finished space has to be my favorite part of transformations like this. I kept the dresser wall simple with this oversized artwork, a vintage lamp I already had, and these beautiful faux florals that I picked up at Magnolia. I really wanted to incorporate lots of texture and warm, rich, earthy tones. Next, I worked on the bed, and since the rug and the wall had plenty of deep, rich colors, I stuck with lighter neutrals and lots of textures for the bedding. Next, I added these beautiful pillows from Hockner Home, and the texture and the subtle colors on these really added to that cozy feeling I was going for.
Because you don't know who you're gonna meet.
This little corner of our room was feeling a little bit plain, and so I brought in this faux olive tree, and when I saw this mirror at Target, I knew that it would fit this space perfectly. absolutely love how this room turned out, and once everything was finished, I thought it would be so fun to have my friend Justine over to see the finished result. She is a great friend and fellow designer, and we are constantly texting each other and bouncing all of our ideas off of each other. And she had helped me through some of the rough spots of this project when I got stuck, but she hadn't yet seen the finished room.
Now this pillow matches this rug, doesn't it?
Yes, exactly what I was looking at. Looks like yes. And I love this. This really got me.
The girls spent the next long while nerding out over all of the design details, but it was so exciting for me to see Andrea's vision that she's been thinking on for months actually come to pass and be a huge and beautiful success. Wow, well, I love how absolutely beautiful the bedroom looks, and I love that it's not just for someone else's home, but it's for our own home, so we get to enjoy it each and every day. And I don't know about you guys, but I love Andrea's furniture flips, but I love her interior design even more, and it is so much fun when we can do a bigger project like this, and so I think you did a fantastic job. I'm gonna enjoy it personally. Woo!
Yeah, I really do love how everything came together in the end. I feel like it was just what I was going for, but probably a little bit better in real life because it just feels so like cozy and finished in there. Every night I'm like, I love our wall, Dee. And I love you.
Right. But you love the wall.
But I love the wall.
So we hope you enjoyed going on this bedroom makeover adventure with us. We definitely enjoyed the ride. We're very excited about more furniture flips and house projects that are coming up in the next several weeks and months. And so stick around and we will see you again very soon. I'm gonna eat this lamb. You know you're a designer if you coordinate your sweater with your bedroom decor.
I mean, only because we were filming it.
Did you match your bedroom on purpose?
No. Okay, all of my pajamas. I'm just kidding. How are we starting this?
Oh,
Producer?
Dean, Andrea, video, welcome back. This is a bedroom makeover.
Where's my script?
It's gonna be amazing.
Where's my script?
I didn't write no script. Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Dean and Andrea. We hope you're having a great fall, and we're really excited about today's...
Oh, sorry.
What was wrong with that?
We hope you're having a great fall.
Whoa! Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Dean and Andrea,
Dang it.
and she cannot keep it together for me to finish my line.
Because I keep thinking about you saying, hope you're having a great fall.
Oh! You nailed it! If you go below 60, that's freezing in
That's
Texas.
like-
You're gonna need your biggest coat.
That's
you
like
got.
fire in the fireplace weather. A special note to our Outtake viewers.
Outtake viewers, listen in.
Okay, special message for you. 'Cause
Special
we didn't
message.
Put this.
Just for you.
You're making it really hard to like think. We get asked all the time for more details on like our kitchen and different areas in our house. So we're like dreaming and planning of a full house video where we don't have like the awesome video footage of all the befores, but we have pictures and
Yeah,
we have
quite a
some
few
old
pictures.
cell phone videos.
Yeah.
But we thought it'd be really fun to just show like as much of the house as we can
It's
when
like
we
a-
moved in, and then a little bit of just the afters and.
We
have a few more projects.
House tour.
If I can remember my cabinet paint color, I'll give all the details.
Yeah, because this is like a 1960 something home, and it was an absolute mess when we got it. Definitely a fixer. The front yard had all this overgrowth to where you couldn't even see the front of the house.
It's pretty bad. Nobody wanted this house. Like it had been listed for like 9 months.
But that was really good
It
for
was
us because
good for
we
us.
walked in and we're like, whoa, so much potential. It looks so ugly, but it has so much potential. And yeah, over the course of the next year or so, we did phase 1. And over the next year, we did the kitchen and the sunroom space. And so really from top to bottom, inside and out,
been
this
fun.
whole house has been done. It is so incredible. We're like walking in and we go, is this really our house? Like,
It's nuts.
it's amazing what this gal can do. This is Dean. I'm reporting live from Magnolia Market. It is looking beautiful today. Something tells me we're gonna be here for a while. This fall line is just to die for. Would you look at this? Oh, awesome. They have newborn baskets. You put the baby in here and just rock them. That is so cool. Oh, it's the extra large taco tray. That's incredible. Bet you could get 2 dozen tacos on there. This is the biggest ping pong paddle I've ever seen. That's awesome.
I'm pulling the wrong corner. What's wrong with me?
It ain't the rug's fault. My calves are burning.
And remember, if you're interested in ButcherBox, be sure to check out the link in our description, and don't forget that if you place an order between now and November 16th, you get a free whole turkey in your first box.